Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. For me, it feels like a Monday. I have been a bit absent from the group because I took some time to unplug. And we're going to talk later this week about EMFs and why EMFs can be a hidden cause of anxiety. But today, we're going to be going into whether serotonin is causing your anxiety. There's been some interesting questions about that I really felt the need to address. But a reminder that on Friday, I'm having my open house for my 12-week program called the Holistic Anxiety Fix. So this is where I'm going into a lot more detail on the framework I'm using to heal anxiety. You know, there's a lot of information out there about anxiety, about how to heal it holistically. And I'm of a fan that you need a system to heal it properly instead of piecemealing everything together. Because when we piecemeal things together, it creates a lot of confusion and stress about what's working and what's not. And that's why I've created a 12-week system. It's really a framework that puts everything together for you, which makes healing anxiety a heck of a lot easier and straightforward, and it's getting incredible results. So I'm going to be going over that on Friday. I'm going to be talking about how I heal, the framework I use to heal, and then success stories as well. So if that's something you'd like to join, I'm going to be posting the link in the comments. You do need to register to attend. I'm not going to be streaming it live into this group. So it's a register-only event. But for today, let's move on into serotonin. You know, there have been posts about doctors suggesting that you need to go on antidepressants to address anxiety. And it can be really sort of confusing. Is serotonin part of anxiety? Is it not part of anxiety? What's going on? Do I supplement with a neurotransmitter? So let's clarify all those things today. So I'd like you to like this video if any of the symptoms that I'm describing is you. So first symptom, loss of pleasure in hobbies or interests. So if you've been there, you know what this feels like. It's sort of like you do a hobby that you used to enjoy, and then all of a sudden you're like, I didn't get the same amount of joy from that. That was really boring. It feels like work to me now. Something that I used to love, I no longer love anymore. And it can be a very awful feeling. So like this video if you experience that. Like this video if you have inner rage or anger. So it's sort of coming from nowhere. It's this burning kind of rage that you're having all the time. Like this video if you're experiencing depression. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, low mood. Like this video if you have difficulty finding joy. There's a like from life's pleasures, right? So if you're struggling to, maybe it's not even hobbies or interests, but like the little moments in life you're no longer enjoying anymore. So I want you to like this video. Like this video if, depression happens when it's cloudy or lack of sunlight. So, you feel great on sunny days, but when there is no sunlight, it's like doomsday happens. Or, if you're working in an office, you find you're depressed at the end of the day, like this video. Like this video if you no longer enjoy your favorite food. So eating is such a joy for so many people, right? So if you're eating and you don't enjoy your favorite foods anymore, it's just kind of like, nah, like this dull, numbing feeling. Like this video. I also want you to like this video if you're not enjoying your friendships or relationships. So, you're seeing them, but you're not getting the same amount of joy out of them at all. Or if you're unable to fall into a deep, restless sleep, like this video. So I see a couple of likes. So a few of you really resonating with the signs of serotonin deficiency. So those are the symptoms that I was discussing, serotonin deficiency. So if you have excess serotonin, this is called, it can lead to serotonin syndrome. You're going to get shyness. You're going to be vulnerable to criticism. You're going to be fear of being disliked or an inferiority complex. So this doesn't always mean that that's low serotonin, but those symptoms are connected to low serotonin. Okay. So supplementing for low serotonin doesn't mean that you just look at serotonin one of the major causes of low serotonin is actually related to insulin resistance and how we're regulating blood sugar. So if your blood sugar is all out of whack, this is actually going to impact the production of your serotonin. So there is a massive link between your blood sugar and if you're eating, the standard American diet, if you're starting out by eating, cereal for breakfast, toast for breakfast, that bagel for breakfast, all of those things are going to put you on this blood sugar roller coaster. If you're eating, pop, I know some of you have been talking to me lately about drinking pop or sugary foods, and you're on this blood sugar roller coaster, that's going to impact your serotonin production. So that's why we want to focus on diet, not necessarily the food content for this specific issue. I'm a big fan of anti-inflammatory foods, but we want to actually focus on diet that's going to help with your blood sugar, to help balance your blood sugar. So tell me below, do you guys eat a lot of carbs for breakfast? Are you pairing it with a protein? Because this can be impacting serotonin production. There's actually a couple of other things that will impact serotonin production as well, and one of them is estrogen. So if you're low in estrogen, then you need estrogen. It increases the sensitivity of your serotonin receptor. And so if you have an increased sensitivity to your serotonin receptor, you're going to have more serotonin eventually, right? So if you're low in estrogen, if your hormones are imbalanced, this also leads to serotonin issues. So you can see that serotonin doesn't always align with anxiety symptoms. In fact, it aligns more with the depressive symptoms than anxiety symptoms. So this is also why you might want to know your hormones, which I do have a special on right now where we can test them. So I do a Dutch hormone test, which looks at your hormones, specifically also at your estrogen and how you're detoxing your estrogen. And so if you're feeling a lot of the symptoms that I talked about earlier in this video, then it actually may be that you need to do a deeper dive around your estrogens and help to figure out what is going on with the estrogens. So there can be a lot of reasons why we're seeing low serotonin, but simply going and, supplementing for serotonin isn't really the answer. We want to look at other contributing factors, right? We want to be looking at your daylight exposure. We want to be looking at your estrogen, and we want to be looking at your insulin levels. Now, when you are looking at supplementing for serotonin, the best one is St. John's wort. It's not one that I commonly use in my own practice, so I can't really speak to the effectiveness of it personally, but I do know that it can be great as a natural selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, or SSRI. So it's a nice alternative to medication there. But again, we want to make sure we're getting to the root of why you are low in serotonin in the first place, and not just allopathically treat the low serotonin, because there's always a deeper reason, always. So if you want to learn more about my framework for healing anxiety, then I invite you to come to the open house on Friday. I'm going to be posting the link to register in the comments right after this video. And we're going to be going over exactly how I heal and amazing success stories that's going to you're going to leave feeling lots of hope. Bye, ladies.